Hello again, everybody. This is We Ninja. I've been requested to do many of these installations of the different types of mods like RedPower, MCPatcher, PortalGun, and they are available. But RedPower has only become available for Bukkit just recently, within the last couple of days or so. So instead of doing the individual mods tutorial, I thought I'd just roll everything into one. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to install a bunch of things: BuildCraft, IndustrialCraft, RedPower, PortalGun, and various different optional stuff. I'm going to show you how to do both client and Bukkit. A couple of notes: this is going to be for Bukkit build 1337 only. Feel free to use any of the other ones, but it's not going to work. I also been requested to send Minecraft and the Minecraft server.jar, the modded one, and this is illegal. I'm not going to do it. So it just not possible for me to do that. I'm not going to do it. The other thing is that I've also been requested to bundle all of these files that I've listed here together into one single big file where you guys can download. I also don't want to do that because the modders spend a lot of time doing this, and by you clicking on these sites, these links, they earn just a fraction of a penny really for every click. So I think it's well worth it to contribute just a little bit, since they are doing this for free. Once again, I'm gonna post the information on where and what to download in the description of the video. So there's a lot of them. It's gonna take you quite a bit of time here to download everything. So make sure that you get them all. Take your time and download everything. Make sure you get them all correct, and then I'll be back to show you how. Okay, let's install the client. But before I do so, I just want to mention just a couple of other very important things. I've always used the MCPatcher before, but for some reason the latest version seems to be incompatible with this entire setup, and I couldn't get it to work. So I tried the Optifine, and that seems to work. So I'm switching over. I'm going to show you guys how to use the Optifine. And from what I heard, Optifine is better anyway. It's going to increase your frame per second. So no great big loss. One final thing before we dive into the installation: the ordering of the installation step is important. Please follow exactly. As an example, the patching of the HD Texture patch is applied very last, and if you do it before Minecraft Forge, for example, that's not going to work. So keep that in mind. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing you want to do is get to the Minecraft folder, click Start, Run, and then type %appdata%, click OK. So here you see your Minecraft folder for your client. Now I'd like to get started with a clean installation, so I'm just gonna drag and drop that into the trash. I'm gonna start my client. The folder itself is gonna get recreated, and as soon as I log in, all the files in there are gonna be re-downloaded. Okay, with this screen you know that all your files have been downloaded. No need to play right now, just kill it. So the first thing you want to do is install ModLoader. Click on Minecraft bin. Now as before, you need to get to WinRAR. Right click on minecraft.jar, go to Open with WinRAR Archiver. You're going to see some folders and you're going to see some files. It's important that when you drag and drop files over into minecraft.jar that you don't do it into any one of these folders. So as a habit, I drag it all the way down to the bottom here. Then I continue. So the first thing is ModLoader. Click on ModLoader.zip. What you need to do is mark all the files and drop it into minecraft.jar. So click on the first file, shift click on the last file, that marks everything, then just drag and drop. The next one is ModLoaderMp client. Do the same thing, click, shift click, oops. The third one is Minecraft Forge client. Okay, at this point I'd like to just pause it and then try the client and see if it still works. Now remember, we still have the meta.inf folder in here. Let's just see if it does in fact create a black screen. And then we'll go back and delete it. And of course it does. So, kill it. I'm going to right click on it, open with WinRAR, right click on meta-inf, delete files, yes, and then run again and see what happens. Okay, success. Let's just play. Create a new world. I just want to make sure that we still be able to get into the game with the basic components so far. And we're here. Okay. I don't like the E for inventory. I like the I, so I'm just going to do that now. Yep. Okay, so we have a very basic installation for the ModLoader stuff to come later. So as a habit, I always make a copy of that, just to say that this is a good version. So I'm going to make a copy. You can rename or not, it doesn't matter at this point. I'm just going to say ModLoader good. Okay, so there are certain components, certain mods that are required by other mods. As an example, AudioMod. So these are the next things that you're gonna have to install. Open up minecraft.jar. Install AudioMod. And then ShockAhPI is required by PortalGun. Now, when you open this ShockAhPI Rep 10, you're going to see two folders. The source folder, ignore it. Double click bin, go into that, drag and drop all the class files into the minecraft.jar. Okay, now at this point I believe we have all the required components in order to build our in order to run the BuildCraft and the RedPower. Okay, so let's just see if it works. So in order to install BuildCraft, let's just start from the top here. BuildCraft, you don't have to touch minecraft.jar at all. You go into the Minecraft folder, go into mods. Now there are 5 files in BuildCraft. I think there's some repeat here for some reason. It's supposed to be just 5. 1. Oh, I've got a couple of server files in here, that's why. I don't need this. Make sure that it says client only. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to copy it into the mods folder. Minecraft mods. RedPower, there are 7 files, I believe. Well, IndustrialCraft, there's just 1 file. Make sure it says client as well. Copy it over. And then RedPower, there are 7 files. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. PortalGun is a little bit different. PortalGun, the author decided to bundle both client and server into one single zip file, and I have it in my server. So click on PortalGuns, and you're gonna see 2 folders, client and server. We're gonna get to server later. Right now, double click client. So ignore the extra folder where it says placing mods. Double click that. Mark both of these items as a folder and there's a zip file. Drag and drop. And then where it says, go back 1 folder, and then where it says placing resources, double click. It's just 1 folder here called mod. You're gonna go into Minecraft resources, and then you're gonna drag and drop it here. Okay, we are done with installing the basic mods. Let's just start to see if it still works. I'm going to go into single player, later selected. Now remember, we don't have TMI, so it's going to be hard to know whether it works or not, but at least we know that it doesn't crash. So that's a good sign. I'm going to get out, save and quit, and now we're going to go into installing some of the additional components again. Go back to client here. I'm going to make another copy here, just to be sure. The good thing about that is if I mess up, I can always go back. That'll save me a little bit of time. So, alright, so I made a copy. Now I'm gonna modify minecraft.jar again. Right click, open with WinRAR. Scroll to the bottom. I'm gonna install too many items. Click, shift click, drag and drop. And then I'm gonna install Zombe Modpack next. Now, it's up to you guys to if you want the fly mod. The only reason why I'm installing this is because I like the fly mod here. So there are certain class files in here that I'm not gonna install. It's up to you if you want to try it, but it may crash. So I highly recommend just install what I install here as a start, and then go back later and try the other things. Okay, so click on Zombe Modpack. In here you're going to see classes, config, and source. Ignore source for now. The classes is where all the .class files are found. So in the description I specifically listed some files that are not to be included. Okay, so skip these classes. Alright, so what I do is I first mark everything, and then to exclude those I hold down the control key and then click on the items that are to be excluded. So AAA, ACZ, AAA, ACZ, DTEM, XU, and ZF. Alright, so now the ones that I want are marked. Drag and drop. Okay, we're not done with Zombe yet. There's a patch that you need to be compatible with Minecraft Forge. So that's also listed in the downloads. This file right here, click on it. Okay, so here there are 4 files, and the only file that I'm interested in is SZ. Okay, just a single file, SZ. Drag and drop. Now we're done. While we're here, I guess what I want to install as well are the optional components for BuildCraft and IndustrialCraft. So go to Minecraft and go to mods again. There are 2 files that I want you to drag over. One is called Power Converter. Drag and drop, copy over. And the other one is called what is it called? Oh, additional pipes. So these 2 are add-ons. The additional pipes allows you to well, they eliminate the piping, the long piping. So it's essentially a transmitter and a receiver where you can connect, and then items and liquid can be transported in that way. It's kind of nice, kind of cool. Power Converter allows you to use power in either BuildCraft to power, use the energy from one mod to power things in the other mod, and vice versa. That's also kind of cool. I was asked by one viewer to do something and to do a video on that, and I will do that at a later time. So at this point I believe we've got everything except for the texture pack installed. So let's just see if it still works. Log in. Okay. You see the error here? We installed Zmod, but we missed a step. So let's do that. Let's go back. Remember I showed you the 3 folders here? The classes we already did. These are all the files that are to be dragged into the Minecraft jar. The config, this is where it goes. Go into Minecraft and mods. So if you didn't create a Zombe folder, then one will be created for you after the first run with that error message. Go into it. You see a log file. What you want to do is from this config folder, mark everything. Drag and drop it into Zombe, into ModZombe. Now, you can get rid of this now. The final step you have to do here is that you need to enable at least one mod for that error message to go away. So click on config.text. Now remember I told you that the only thing I'm interested in is the fly mod. So I'm gonna search for the word fly. So here's the fly mod. Note that every time you see a line like this, that means a new mod to be enabled. That's a new mod to be enabled. You're gonna see it throughout. So under the fly mod, there's a line here that says mod fly enable. The way to enable it is to get rid of this pound sign here. That's it. Save it, kill it, restart your client. I think we're good to go, but let's see. Single player, new world, play selected world. Alright, let's open the inventory. Aha, now you see a whole bunch of stuff. Let's try out one real quick. What to try? Okay, here's a little quirk that I found in Portal. See, I placed down the aerial faceplate and it doesn't appear. I don't know why, but if you place it again, it's there. Let's try it. Aha, it propels you. And I'm also flying. So Zombe is also working. Propels that pig. Okay, so we're good to go. Now the very last thing that I want to show you guys how to do is to enable the HD texture pack. So let's get out of this. I place in the description that the Optifine stuff is to be done the very last step. So go to Minecraft, bin, right click on Minecraft again, open with WinRAR, alright. Where did I put Optifine? Hang on. I copy it over here. I'm gonna get rid of this MCPatcher. So open up Optifine 1.8. Click on the first. Shift click the last. Drag and drop. Now, a couple of my favorites are. Oh, I put Optifine here. Okay, but anyway, there's a texture pack. This is one of my favorites. The other one is Taidoku, but I'm gonna copy this pre-made craft texture pack into Minecraft texture pack. Now it's ready to be used. Start my client again. Log in. Go to Mods and Texture Pack, select the BuildCraft, click Done, start single player, new world, play selected. So it's working. As you can see, I've got the new texture pack working. Just a word of caution, make sure that you have a good computer. Make sure you have a relatively fast computer and a good graphics card. Otherwise you're going to see a certain amount of lag, and it's just unplayable. If everywhere you turn you're going to have to wait a second. So and if it doesn't work out, just go back to the normal texture pack, default texture pack. Alright guys, I think we're done with the client here. The next step, we're going to go through how to install the Bukkit server. It's going to be a lot simpler, trust me on that. So I'll be right back. Okay, let's mod the Bukkit server. So one of the files that I did ask you guys to download is the craftbukkit.jar, snapshot.jar. This happens to be version 1337, and that's the only one that I guarantee to work. If you download any other version, a later version, may or may not work. You can try it yourself if you want. So typically what I do is I just make a copy of it just to be sure that I still have the original, and then I just rename it something like its version number original. Alright, so let me just show you how I run this thing. A lot of people are also asking about this. Okay, so one or two things. You could, when you install your Java, it should already in your path, and if that's the case, if you open up something like this, a DOS on a command shell, and type Java, and if you see something like this, then you know that it's already in your path. In that case, you can run it like this, just like that. Okay, but if you know exactly where your Java was installed, then I would recommend doing something like this. That you know that you always pick up the correct version of Java. So who knows, you might have Java 7 installed somewhere, for example, and it may have some quirkiness to it. So I recommend using this method. Note that there are double quotes here that are needed because of this space right here. Okay, so create a batch file just like so. Okay, let's just run it and let it create a new world first. Let me start my client also and see if I can at least log in. So the way that it works is that if you have mods installed in your Bukkit or in your server in general, and you don't have it installed in your client, then it will reject. But if you have mods installed in your client and you don't have it installed here, then it should be okay. It should be okay to just log in and try it out. You just don't get to see any of your mods or use any of your mods. This is the same client as I showed you how to install. Multiplayer. So if you don't have something like this already, just add a server, and type localhost as the IP address and all lowercase, and you should be able to just log in. Click on it, and I'm going to join the server. Yep, and I'm in. So I'm in my Bukkit world at this point. I can fly. Of course, it's going to kick me out pretty soon now. Yep. What happens is, as a default, flying is not enabled. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to edit the server properties. I'm going to allow flying. I'm going to minimize the max number of players here, maybe 5. While I'm here, I'm going to opt myself. If you don't do this, you can't give yourself items, so please do so. Remember that step. Okay, we're ready to mod our jar file or our Bukkit server. Okay, so I'm gonna edit. I'm gonna open this with WinRAR again. I'm gonna go to the server files. One note that I want to stress here is that ModLoaderMp, even though there are potentially later versions, I know at least R5 is available at this time, but that just doesn't work for me, and I know this works. So I'm going to show you guys how to mod with just this version. Okay, make sure it's R4. So the very first thing that you want to do is ModLoaderMp. Click on that. Now, typically you wouldn't see meta INF, but the author decided to implement it in such a way. So mark all 3 folders and drag and drop over to the craftbukkit.jar. Click OK. You're done with ModLoaderMp. Another required component is Minecraft Forge. They should be done in this order. 2 folders here, mark them both, drag and drop. Alright, so at this time you have the essential components. You need to run it at least one time so that it can create a mods folder. So I'm going to run it. So it's created a mods folder here. Okay. But at this point we don't have any mods installed just yet. I'm going to stop the server again. All I wanted to do there was to make sure that it runs and that it created this mods folder for me. So I'm going to edit CraftBukkit again with WinRAR. I'm going to put it aside over there. I'm going to go back to the server files. Now, a couple of things I want to mention to you. Aside from PortalGun, the rest of the files have 2 extensions, .tar.gz or .zip. Any .zip files that you see, can go into the mods folder. Okay. Any tar.gz, you have to open it with WinRAR and put it in your jar file. I just noticed that I have 2 versions here. I just delete one. Use the latest one for RedPower. Okay, so PortalGun is an exception. Remember that? So let's just start with that. PortalGun. Click on that. We've been here before. We opened this file when we installed the client. Now let's go into the server. So there are 2 flavors of the server. There's a vanilla and the Bukkit. We're doing Bukkit, so let's go into Bukkit. There's a single folder here. That goes into your .jar. Okay, so just drag and drop that folder onto the root of your jar file. Notice that I never go into any of these subdirectory. I just always operate from the top level. Okay, keep that in mind. So that's it for the PortalGun. Let's go to BuildCraft. So BuildCraft is a tar.gz. Let me make sure that it is the latest version. In fact, there is a later version. Let me copy that over. things are changing rather quickly, by the way. Oh no, there isn't. Sorry about that. 2.2.4 is the latest version, guys. So just use that. So BuildCraft, again, click on it to open. I'm gonna mark them both. 2 folders. Drag and drop into the root of my craftbucket.jar. Notice that the additional pipes ends with a .zip, so I'm going to leave that alone for now. I'm going to go through and check all the .gz. Okay, we did that already. Okay, that means we're done with the .jar, the craftbucket.jar. I'm going to get rid of that now. So the rest of the file remembers that all the .zip I'm going to mark. And I told you that these go into the mods folder. So I'm going to just copy them into the mod folder here. Okay. So again, this is the root folder of my Bukkit server. And underneath, there's a folder called mods. That's where all my zip files go. Okay, let's just start and see if it starts. Run Bukkit. Alright, a lot of things scroll through. Alright. It's too bad that this particular command window doesn't allow me to go back far enough so that I can check. But essentially, if you go back into the log, you should see your mods being loaded. Say for example, this is BuildCraft 2.2.4, and then your PortalGun 1.8.1 version 4. See what else? Your RedPower 2.0 Pre-beta 3 version B. Your power converter is here. Yep, IndustrialCraft 1.23. So it looks like everything loaded properly, really. So I think we're good to go. Let's try it. I'm going to click on, I'm going to start my client. Log in. Multiplayer, localhost. I can still fly even though I'm in my Bukkit server. I'm gonna go over there to that open area. I don't feel like getting rid of these trees right now. As a default, the flying speed is rather slow, but if you feel like configuring, go into the Zombe mod config.txt. There are certain things that you can modify there to make your gameplay a little bit better. Alright, so we're in our Bukkit server. Go into your inventory. If you don't see anything, press O. You see your TMI now, and it's very important here. I mean, a lot of people ask me about this. Many people. So why is it that you don't see everything that you saw while you were in single player mode? Well, the fact is that in SMP play, TMI does not show you the items that has damage value. And I'll go back to the single player and show you what I mean by that. So, as an example, if you take a look at the engine, you see there's only one redstone engine. Okay, its block item value, as you see, is 161. So the steam engine happens to be also 161 with a damage value of 1. and then the other engine, combustion engine, is also 161 with a damage value of 2. So that is the reason why. Now, in the past, there have been modders that hacked into TMI and made that available. I'm just waiting for that to happen as well. But at this time, it just it's not available. Just wait for it. So let's just see if we can get some of these items. Yep. So this is from Minecraft. I'm sorry, from RedPower. I'm gonna get a lamp. I am going to get some red alloy ingot. I'm gonna get a switch, a lever, and I'm gonna get PortalGun here. I'm just gonna try different things here, make sure that they still work. Alright, so this is IndustrialCraft. This is PortalGun. This is BuildCraft. It works. I need a crafting table to try the RedPower stuff. That's the reason why they call it too many items. I can't find anything in here. Where's the crafting table? I think it's 58. It's 58. Where's 58? Yep. Some red wire. A lever. So that works. All the mods work. You got your PortalGun, your BuildCraft, your RedPower, your IndustrialCraft, everything works in Bukkit. Oh, I promise you that I will show you the single player mode. So in single player mode, when you go into your inventory and TMI, let's just go to the engine and I'll show you. You see the redstone engine, it's 161. Steam engine is 161-1, and combustion engine 161.2. Similarly, if you go into IndustrialCraft, you see all those dash values, those are damage values. You won't see those in multiplayer. Okay, so we succeeded. I'm gonna do some other videos to show you guys on how to use some of these things, but for now I think I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's useful to some of you guys. Ask question and please subscribe if you can. Thank you.